in the quiet hum of the world, beneath the noise of cities and the pulse of glowing screens. A silent rivalry begins to form, an invisible tension rising between the intelligence we're born with and the intelligence we've created. There's something strangely beautiful in this moment, like standing at the edge of a cliff just before sunrise. A feeling of anticipation, of wonder, of something enormous shifting beneath our feet. For the first time in human history, something stands beside us, not above us, not below us, but beside us. Artificial intelligence. Cold, precise, tireless. And then there's Usmasi. Emotional, brilliant, in ways that can't be measured by any sensor or data. As this story unfolds, we step into that tension. Not to crown a winner, but to understand the battlefield. To explore the places where machines outshine us, where humans remain unmatched, and where the line between them becomes blurry. So breathe, slow, steady, because once the story begins to unfold, once the ideas sink in, you won't walk away unchanged. Now imagine intelligence, not as a point but as a spectrum stretching from instinct to logic, to creativity, to the deep, uncharted waters of emotion. For centuries, we held an almost quiet confidence. We were the smartest beings we had ever encountered. We built civilizations, wrote symphonies, mapped the stars, and solved equations that described the universe itself. But then we created machines that could think faster than we could. At first, they were primitive calculators, processors, obedient tools built to serve us. But slowly, line by line of code, model by model, something shifted. They stopped being mere instruments. They began to learn. They began to adapt. They began to mirror the architecture of our own minds. And suddenly, a question emerged. What happens when the thing we create learns to grow at a pace we can T-match? What does that mean for us? To understand this rivalry, we must go deeper beneath the surface, into the mechanics of intelligence itself. AI, at its core, is mastery of patterns. Feed it vast amounts of data, and it becomes an oracle of prediction. Show it millions of images, and it becomes fluent in sight. Train it on language, and it begins to speak, sometimes more clearly than we do. Its strength lies in scale, in speed, in the sheer weight of knowledge it can hold without ever cracking. Humans, however, we're different. We don't merely store information. We experience it. We don't simply predict patterns. We feel them. While AI processes the world in clean, straight lines, we navigate it in spirals through intuition, through instinct, through sparks of insight that defy logic. And somewhere in that contrast lies a certain truth. AI may outperform us, in fragments, but the whole everything that makes intelligence alive, that is still profoundly human. Think about this. AI can read 1,000 medical research papers in less time than it takes you to blink, but only a human doctor can look into your eyes and understand the fear behind them. AI can analyze millions of financial transactions and detect fraud with near-perfect precision, but only a human feels the responsibility behind every decision, every risk, every consequence. It's tempting to call AI superior, faster, sharper, unburdened by emotion. But emotion isn't a flaw. Emotion is context. Emotion is meaning. Emotion is the reason we care about intelligence at all. Without purpose, intelligence is nothing more than calculation. With purpose, intelligence becomes power, and purpose is something only humans define. Pause on that, let it settle. The rivalry between AI and human intelligence isn't a race of speed. It's a question of meaning, of intention, of why intelligence matters in the first place. Now step into a real story, one that reshaped our understanding of ability. Picture a chess. For centuries, humans ruled at grandmasters whose minds danced across 64 squares with impossible Then came Deep Blue. Then Alpha. Then models that didn't just beat humans, they reinvented the very strategies of the game. What took us centuries of mastery, AI reached sometimes in minutes. But here's the part many forget. When AI changed the game, humans grew to. Grandmasters studied the moves machines created, strategies so alien they felt like they came from another universe. And by studying them, humans expanded their own creativity, turning the impossible into the new standard. That is the real relationship. Not domination, not defeat, but elevation. AI pushes us, pressures us, forces us to evolve, and in doing that, it expands our potential far beyond what we once believed possible. Shift scenes with me. A hospital late at night. The lights buzz softly, the air cold, the weight of urgency thick. A patient struggles to breathe as their data flows into an AI system capable of scanning their vitals, medical history, and symptoms in seconds. The algorithm produces a diagnosis with astonishing accuracy, but then the doctor steps into the room. She notices the tremble in the patient's hands, the hesitancy in their voice, the silent plea in their eyes. She makes a choice, not because the data demands it, but because the human does. Here, AI is the mind. The doctor is the heart. Together, they create a form of intelligence neither could reach alone. This is where the rivalry becomes a partnership, a fusion of logic and empathy, of precision and intuition. The future isn't about AI replacing humans, it's about AI amplifying us. Still, beneath this harmony, a lingering fear remains, a quiet whisper in the back of the mind. What if AI surpasses us completely? What if it becomes the dominant intelligence on Earth? These fears don't come from technology, they come from identity. Because if something else becomes smarter than we are, then what does that make us? Obsolete, diminished, replaceable. But here, as the truth hidden beneath the fear, our worth never came from how fast we think or how many patterns we recognize. Our worth comes from our experiences, our memories, our connections. Intelligence isn't what makes us human. Humanity is, and no machino matter how advanced can replicate the quiet, trembling depth of a human soul. But the question still echoes in the background. What makes us human in the age of machines? Is it creativity? The ability to dream, imagine, build stories out of nothing? Perhaps. But creativity isn't just invention, it's imperfection. Our ideas stumble before they fly. Our best work often emerges from pain, joy, heartbreak, longing things machines do not feel. AI can mimic style, generate art, compose music, but it does not yearn to create. It does not feel that ache in the chest when inspiration strikes. And that yearning, that inner spark, is the essence of human intelligence. Not perfect, but alive. As we walk deeper into this century, AI will only grow stronger. It will design buildings, write stories, diagnose illnesses, predict economies, and map the future of entire civilizations. It will transform everything it touches, but in every transformation, humans remain at the center. AI is not a replacement. It is a reflection, a mirror showing us our brilliance and our blind spots. And when we stare into that mirror, we see that our intelligence isn't shrinking. It's evolving, being stretched, sharpened, challenged. The rivalry between us and AI isn't a threat, it's an invitation. A pustora is to think deeper, to understand ourselves more fully than ever before. So here we stand, on the edge of a future shaped by two kinds of intelligence. One born of neurons, one born of code. One emotional, unpredictable, beautifully flawed. One logical, tireless, perfectly precise. And in their coexistence lies a future brighter than either could achieve alone. Human intelligence gives us meaning. AI gives us power. Human intuition gives us insight. AI gives us clarity. Human emotion gives us purpose. AI gives us possibility. And when those forces merge, we step into a new chapter of our story, not defined by fear, but by AI. So take a breath, a slow, quiet breath. Let the truth sink in. The machines we create may surpass our abilities, but they will never surpass our humanity. And that quiet and profound is where our true intelligence lives. Not in what we know, but in who we are.